Mike Tomlin just took a shot at the Cleveland Browns. Wait till you see what the Steelers head coach had to say about one of the Browns' most recent trades and our front office. That's coming up on the show, as well as Myles Garrett, very pissed off after Cleveland's last loss to Pittsburgh. We'll take a look at what he said and some insight on Myles. And finally, some major Browns news that's big for the city of Cleveland. You're not going to want to miss the third part of the show. But welcome in to the Browns Report, everybody. I am your host, Joey O'Donohue. And if you're not a part of the family already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, folks. We're just about 300 subs away from our next milestone, 55,000 subscribers. You guys are the best. Join the party. And what do you get if you do? Well, you get daily free Brown shows. It's free. Hit that button. Helps us out. And we give you daily content every single day, folks. Let's get into Mike Tomlin's thoughts on the Browns trading Joe Flacco. He says, to be honest, it was shocking to me. Andrew Berry must be a lot smarter than me or us because it doesn't make sense to me to trade a quarterback that you think enough of to make your opening day starter to a division opponent that's hurting in that area. But that's just my personal feeling. Okay, I totally get where Tomlin is coming from. But let me explain. Here is what happened. This is what the Cleveland Browns mentality was in making this deal and starting the season. So first, they thought that Joe Flacco was going to be the guy that gave Cleveland the best chance to win football games. This was the Browns' evaluation. And now, hindsight, it's 2020. You could say the Browns made a poor evaluation, but they thought to start the season that Flacco gave them the best chance to compete. He's an experienced quarterback in the league, a Super Bowl MVP a long time ago, and he's had success before in Cleveland's system just 2 years ago in 2023 when the Browns made it to the playoffs. But obviously, the Browns were wrong. And, I was once someone that was also excited to see Flacco get back there because Cleveland told me that he earned that starting job, that Joe was the guy for the year. Well, clearly that wasn't the case. He had 6 interceptions at the time. That was second most in the NFL, only behind Geno Smith. And he accumulated 8 turnovers total in 2025. I mean, just in 4 weeks, that is crazy. And just watching the games, he was slow, old, off the mark, couldn't leave the pocket. It was bad. We had to bench him for Gabriel no matter what. So when Cleveland found out that that was the case, that Flacco doesn't give you the best chance to win games, they benched him. All of a sudden, Cleveland did not need him anymore. They were not going to go back to Joe Flacco later in the season. No, you have 2 rookie quarterbacks. It's time to see the guys that we drafted because Flacco's not the answer. So then Cleveland could reassess, and when the Bengals called them up, because remember, Cincinnati picked up the phone first. Let's revisit the trade. It's actually good for Cleveland because no one else in the league was going to pay for Joe Flacco, a 40-year-old quarterback right now on a 1-year deal. The fact that Cleveland got a 5th-round pick for Flacco this season is impressive by Andrew Berry. I think this was good for the Cleveland Browns, a late pick swap. You're never going to use Flacco again. He's not going to re-sign next year, obviously. You have 2 rookie quarterbacks that you're trying to evaluate. And so the trade itself became good for the Browns. To Tomlin's point, the reason it's weird overall that he was a starter from day one, that must have just been a lapse in Cleveland's judgment. And Cleveland's quarterback room, it's time to turn to the youngins. Dillon Gabriel, we've seen have 2 starts already. We're going to talk more about him, but to be honest, nothing has been eye-popping from what we've seen from Gabriel so far. Shedeur waiting up to that QB2 spot right now. I imagine we will see him play at some point later in the season, and that is what you're seeing right now, folks, in Cleveland. This is rookie evaluation season. Now that there is no veteran in the way, they traded Pickett before the year, and they just traded Flacco. It's all about the 2 guys you drafted. We're seeing Gabriel. I bet we will see Sanders. The weird part is, though, the way they're playing. It's like they're not trying to win. It's kind of frustrating when you watch Dillon Gabriel throw the ball 52 times for 0 touchdowns and an average of 6 air yards per attempt. That's the stat from last Sunday. The Sunday before, it was 5.5 per attempt. It literally seems like they're just playing to evaluate and not even trying to win that game. How do you go into Pittsburgh thinking you can win with your rookie throwing it 52 times and you don't give Judkins enough carries? He's got 12 touches. He's been our best player on offense. You don't let him cook. So it's frustrating to watch that. But I'm telling you, Cleveland wants to see what they have in those rookies before the next NFL draft. Weigh in for me. Did the Browns make the wrong move by trading Joe Flacco to the Bengals? Type Y for yes if you think it was a bad idea. Type N for no if you think Tomlin, you're out of your mind. This deal was good for Cleveland. Like I said, I think the fact that you got value for Flacco signals this was a good trade for Cleveland. I do get the point about trading with a division rival, though. It could be dangerous. But come on, the Bengals, they just lost with Flacco. They're going to suck no matter what as long as Burrow's out. So it's fine by me. Now, you guys may remember Joe Haden, former Cleveland Browns Pro Bowl cornerback. Well, he had some comments about the Browns coaching, and it included Mike Tomlin over on the Steelers end. He said if Coach Tomlin were coaching the Browns, they would not ever be in this situation. They would not be losing these games. He would keep them at least 500 every season because it's the voice, it's the leader, it's the man that's coming in, and maybe Kevin Stefanski is not that man. And maybe I'm feeling defeated right now after losing to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and a lot of Browns fans are freaking out about this. I saw a lot of them saying, hey, why don't you shut up, Joe Haden? Others saying, yeah, he's got a point. And low-key, he kind of does. Like I said, maybe I'm just emotional right now because I've watched such an awful offense for weeks in a row, and everywhere I go on Twitter, it's Browns fans screaming, fire Kevin Stefanski. I can't help but think Haden might have a point. That if Mike Tomlin were coaching this football team, we wouldn't be 1-5. Guys would get together. Quarterbacks would develop. It's not been good lately under Stefanski. With that said, though, we are a kick, a chip shot field goal, and a first down away from being 3-2. And then I bet there wouldn't even be that much drama right now. But Coach Kevin Stefanski has absolutely contributed to these losses. His play calling and clock management literally lost the Vikings game. That one, no excuse. No excuse. You had got a first down at the end of the game. Instead, you just let the Vikings keep a timeout, and you burned all yours while they drove down the field to win the football game. So, absolutely, Stefanski has been boring with the play calling, and I think Joe Haden does have a slight point, which I hate to say because I hate the Steelers. However, there might be some validity to it, but we can't play the hypothetical what-if game, folks. Coming up on the show, we've got some more Cleveland Browns updates for you. Myles Garrett is pissed off. You're going to want to wait and hear what he said. Also, some major news for the city of Cleveland and Browns fans in the future. You know we'll be Browns fans forever, folks. We're locked in. We're here for life. But first, I'm super excited to tell you that this episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it is good to be right. And honestly, I'm just so hyped that Browns football is back on Sundays. All is right with the world, and I'm big into daily fantasy with Prize Picks. I'm obsessed with it because it makes all the games more entertaining, and before the Browns play, I lock in on all my players in my lineup and their player projections. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in, and Prize Picks is the only app that offers stacks, meaning you can pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. Want to pick more on Josh Allen's pass yards, rush yards, and touchdowns? Now you can pick all of them in the same lineup only on Prize Picks. I've got a lineup for this week, folks, and I saw that we got some AFC North Division football coming up on Thursday night. So I said, let's go with Jamar Chase, more than half a touchdown. It could be rushing or receiving. And our old friend Joe Flacco, less than 235.5 pass yards. He is not doing that against the Steelers defense. I watched him firsthand for many games, folks. And Trevor Lawrence, let's throw him in there, more than half a passing touchdown. He's pretty good for that early in the morning on Sunday. I'm going to make some money. You can too if you download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Here is what Myles Garrett said after the game, after the loss to the Steelers. He said, it's frustrating. To lose the same way every time, it's frustrating as hell. And I understand your frustration, Myles. I mean, it's really hard as a fan to endure some of these losses. And normally it's not on you, Garrett. But this time, you're part of that loss. You're part of this issue. Myles' stats against Pittsburgh, yeah, you see how many zeros are up there? No tackles for loss, no sacks, no quarterback hits, on 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers. Only had one pressure the whole game. And it's hurting because I feel like the lackluster offense, the lack of energy, is now infecting the rest of this football team. There's no fight right now. Do you care? Do you want to win? There's no game I watch where Myles doesn't get home. It doesn't affect the game. And especially with Broderick Jones, who looked awful out there for Pittsburgh. But credit Aaron Rodgers, he was rolling out, he was dealing. It was painful to watch. And so we got to pick things up. Obviously, it's not Myles' fault out of everyone's. He is our best player by far. He might be the best player in the NFL. But remember, he wanted out. And Myles was out the door. He requested the trade. He said, I'm gone. And then when the money was shown to him, that $40 million a year, you know he signed. I mean, he said he felt the Browns were committed to winning. He said that Cleveland had a quarterback plan and that he wasn't going to stay if they didn't have a QB plan. So this was your choice, Myles. You went for the money. You went for it. And what was Cleveland's quarterback plan? Well, it was Flacco at first. That must have been what Myles was referencing. But as I talked about earlier on this show, they turned out to be incorrect. Flacco was not the guy to advance them this season. And now it's rookie time. Is it Gabriel? Is it Shedeur? What if Myles knew the plan all along was to set up Shedeur Sanders to come in and be the guy? Is it time? Is it the perfect timing? I got my watch on to see 12 get out there. You know what? The more I look into this, the more I evaluate Gabriel's film and the more I see graphics and stats on Shedeur Sanders, I really do think he gives Cleveland the best chance going forward. Now, there's so much wrong with the Browns' offensive line, play calling, you name it, there's issues. So it's not a great situation to throw a rookie into, Gabriel or Shedeur. But I do think Shedeur's got better arm strength, accuracy, and he's going to try and win football games rather than manage them. We'll talk about Shedeur versus Gabriel on another video, but it's almost time to see 12 get in there. I would like to have a better situation before we throw him in, though. I mean, come on. Fix the play calling. Get an offensive lineman. Get a weapon, too. We need receivers that can catch the ball. But I'll let you know when it's time, folks. That's why you subscribe to the Browns Report. Constant Cleveland Browns quarterback updates. That includes Shedeur Sanders. Finally, some big news for the Browns. A historic $100 million agreement. The Browns are getting a new stadium. It's moving to Brook Park in 2029, folks. Years from now. Maybe this will bring some life into the Cleveland Browns, getting a new home stadium. Owner Jimmy Haslam is going to pay a $100 million to the city of Cleveland. All court cases were dropped. This is happening. This has been approved by the mayor. Get ready, Browns fans, to see some new venues. And let's go ahead. Let's like the video for some good luck. Go down there for good fortune. Hit that like button to inspire the Cleveland Browns to actually play well and have some good luck in a new stadium. I think a change of scenery would help out Cleveland a lot. And this is expensive, as I showed you, for Jimmy Haslam and company. So like the video right now for some good fortune. We need the good luck in Cleveland. And maybe a new stadium will do it in a few years. Trust me, 2029, we're going to be a good football team. We have so many young rookies right now that are impacting the team immediately. Quinshawn Judkins, Mason Graham, Carson Swessinger, Isaiah Bond. I mean, seriously, what a draft. Harold Fannin Jr. By 2029, we're going to be amazing. Like the video to put that out there. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in to the Browns Report today. Like I said, make sure you are subscribed for daily Cleveland Browns news, content, and analysis. We appreciate everybody that is tuned in, that is subscribing. We love you guys. We thank you guys. And we will see you very shortly here on the Browns Report.